My name's Sung, and I'm the Principal and Director of Sky Academy, and we are going to start a new topic today. Welcome to the world of quadratic equations. If you're in year 11 or 12, you will have done quadratic equations, and you might have done them in the guise of trinomials. You might have heard them being explained as trinomials, but a quadratic equation is basically, for those of you for whom this is a brand new topic, a quadratic equation is an algebraic expression, okay, which can also be represented graphically, that takes on the form y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, where the letters a, b, and c, or the pronumerals a, b, and c, represent numbers. Okay. Now, the very special thing about quadratics is that the highest power of x is 2. So the highest power of x is 2. Okay, and x is called your variable term. A, b, and c are called your coefficients. C is a very special coefficient. It's actually a constant term. We call it a constant term because there's no x after it. So the highest power of x is 2, and a, b, and c can pretty much take on any number that you want it to, except that a can't be 0. Then, if a is 0, your highest power isn't 2 anymore. It'll be the x term, all right? Because 0 times x squared disappears, all right? Can b equal 0? The answer is yes, b can equal 0. All right. Can c equal 0? The answer is yes, c can equal 0. Okay. So in other words, you don't need the x term or the c term. Yep. All you need is for these numbers to be any number except that a cannot be 0. Okay. So let's have a look. I've written up 1, 2, 3, 4 algebraic expressions up on the board. And what I want you to do is have a look with me and think in your own mind as to whether or not these are quadratic expressions or not. Okay, so let's have a look. Y equals to x squared. Is this an algebra? Is this expression, or is this equation a quadratic expression? Yes, it is a quadratic. Okay, the reason why it's a quadratic is because your highest power is 2. A equals to 1 in this case, B equals to 0, and C equals to 0. Yes, it fits our definition of a quadratic. So the answer is tick, this is a quadratic. Let's have a look at this. Y equals to 4x plus 3. Okay, is this a quadratic? Well, B equals to 4, C equals to 3. This A doesn't equal to anything, it's equal to 0 in this particular case. And we don't have an x squared term, all right? This doesn't fit our definition. It's not a quadratic. This next term, y equals to 3x to the power of 4 plus 7x squared plus 6. Is that a quadratic? Okay. Well, strictly speaking, from our definition, it's not a quadratic because the highest power is 4. Okay. And you've got your A, you've got your B, and you've got your C. Let me just go on a side point here. While this may not be a quadratic in this sense of the term, it's what we call an equation that's reducible to a quadratic. You can be turned into a quadratic, and I'll go through that in a later episode. All right. So this is actually not a quadratic according to this definition. Okay. But it can be turned into a quadratic. Okay, so let's lay that to the side here, but for the time being, let's say that's not a quadratic. Okay. Now, this term here, is that a quadratic? Well, the answer is, well, we don't know until we expand this out and turn this into a form that looks like that. But the answer is yes, it is a quadratic. Because x plus 7, if you square it, the highest power will be 2, and you will have numerical values for A, B, and C. Okay, so let me just quickly do that on the board to just show you that that is a quadratic equation. 3 outside of x plus 14, x plus 49. And if you multiply by 3, yes, it will be a quadratic equation. Okay, so x squared plus 42x plus 149, 150 minus 3 is 147. Yeah. Okay, so that's a quadratic. Now, what does a quadratic look like? A quadratic basically takes the shape of what we call a parabola. Okay, now a parabola can look like this. So it basically takes the shape of like a bullet. It's almost like a bullet head. Okay, and it can be the right way up like this, and that'll be the case where y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is positive, and if a is negative, it'll be upside down like this. Y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is negative. Okay. Well, we'll be investigating more of this stuff as we go along, but thank you for watching, and please keep an eye out for future episodes. Thank you.